Hello everyone and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. I am your caster Bahamut. On the left hand side we are going to be having Montreal style Beigels, and on the right is going to be Fat Rattata. And this is a Group C playoff, so this is, as we learned from Chop Judo in chat, this is a legendary playoff game for Heroes Lounge, and I believe this is week 2 of the playoffs. I haven't actually gone back and looked through the numbers, but either way, we do have games, and that's what I'm so excited for. I just realized that my Division S logo is still up, and that should not be there. It should be this. There we go. My bad on that one. Let's see. I really quickly have to swap out then one other thing. I don't need to worry about that. But I need to change out this for that. Need for this screen. Okay, cool. Alright, everything is back to the way it should be. Let's go ahead and actually take a peek at some of the map bans that we did have before going into this. This is actually going to be the coin flip won by the members of Montreal Style Beigels. They banned out Battlefield of Eternity. The other map that was banned out by the side of Fat Rattata is going to be Infernal Shrines, and game number 1 is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen, chosen by the members of Montreal Style Beigels. We go ahead and get back into this draft. We are done with our ban phase. We are into the draft here, and so it's going to be a Diablo and a Stukov being banned out on the side of Montreal Style Bagels. Not a bad idea. Diablo with a really, really good engage transition slide. Ooh, that's some fancy work. Hold on, let me actually give the correct shout out. I believe it's JB Sheds is the one who actually made all of that. I'm like 99% sure that it's JB Sheds who's done all of that, so shout out to him. He did all that work and sent it and is an awesome person. So Diablo's gone, Stukov is gone, engage, control, that's off the table. We do have a Maiev and a Garrosh. Same kind of thing. Maiev offers some great engage as well as some control in some of these fights, and then Garrosh just has great displacement with that toss. Joanna will be the first pickup here. She's a really strong in the notion that she can actually group up a lot of the heroes, or group up a lot of the minions, and then get the clear with her mage. Sorry, I have to burp. I chugged a bunch of liquids before we got started. And now we have an Orphea and an Imperius entering the game. Imperius is... I haven't seen enough of him to really make a judgment call, but I'm feeling more so on the... I think he's pretty strong side. Orphea will be really great for their clear. I wonder if they actually go into the chomp stacks. Mind Devour is a really strong talent at 7, but if you are making rotations between top and mid, you could stack those up quite a bit. We'll see what they go into here. And then White Mane, Li Ming for the members of that Rattata. Not a bad idea. Li Ming has reset capability. She also has really good poke. White Mane has a really good ability to mark the team, much like Stukov, and get that damage out and then heal up the friendly team. So if someone is getting targeted out for their Stukov, that is going to be something that maybe is a little bit more in the same realm of play style. Ban-wise coming out here, they should probably go for something in the solo lane. Yeah, I like the Phoenix actually. Hold on, what's this link? Yeah. That was so much fun, Cluster. Like that, the S Division was so much. Oh, I did not know I could just hover over that preview. That's good to know. The S Division over the weekend was so much fun. I had an absolute blast casting those games. I honestly cannot wait for this weekend. But we have a draft that is currently unfolding in front of us. They do ban out the Tyrande, which would pair well into the Imperius. The follow-up stuns are great. Her healing while auto-attacking is great for the friendly team. So at this point, they can now roll out into their next phase of the draft. They are going to be needing a healer. They are going to be needing a solo laner, as well as a little bit more damage to go with that Orphea. Maybe they go into a mage. Not really sure. Ooh. Fiducia Imperius. He hit main this one in EU server. Great for train base. Man. To train in Europe on a 150 ping, that's actually what my ping's like when I was trying to cast in Europe, and I was like, I can do this, but I like sleep and doing things. Otherwise my Sunday would be like 9 hours of casting, which I don't think I can do. Need that little break. Raynor and Blaze will be rounding out the draft for the members of Fat Rattata. That is going to be the Raynor in the rotations. That'll pair well with the Li Ming. Some extra poke. Siege from the Hyperion, as well as Blaze to be able to drop that bunker. And then the solo lane be fairly strong. Arthas, it's going to be pretty even here. And then they do need to round out the draft here. They could go for something like a Thrall, that wouldn't be bad. Alarak wouldn't be horrible either. They could go into the Mage Realm, I'm not sure. Okay, they go for the Greymane. It pairs well with Arthas' ability to lock someone down with the Howling Blast. Imperius also has his, it's Celestial something, I think. Celestial Charge? I think that's it. Celestial Charge, which is his Q to impale. Pretty sure it's Q? That one, no, it's E is the line, W is the shield, Q is the, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Am I wrong? But we have a draft. We're going to go ahead and pull this away for a couple of seconds. Pre-nerfed healers. Protect the little coffin girl. I need to raise my chair up. I've been fiddling around with like the way that I want my chair, and like I can't get happy with like where I want it. Mostly also because I can't stand the little arm things on the side because I can't roll in all the way into my desk. So then it's the dumbest little. Maybe I'll just like make a little cutout for my arms so I can just slide my chair a little bit further. But we do have a game coming up in just a second, and looking at the two teams, draft aside and all of that fun stuff, or team names aside and all that, I kind of like the style, the side of Montreal style Beigels a little bit more here. I think their burst potential is higher. I think they have a higher kill. Their wave clear is pretty good as well. I think it's going to be a little bit quicker than the members of Fat Rattata. Yeah, someone call up Jinxie and let her know that there's an Arthas in a game. She'll be really happy about that. But we got a draft. We got a game. Let's go ahead and get right into this. Alrighty. On the left-hand side, we are going to be having the members of Montreal-style Beigels, with Breakwood going to be on the Orphea. Thordios? Oh, I'm going to say that wrong. I think I actually got corrected on this already once. We're just going to say Thor is going to be on the Greymane. Fairy Dragon will be on the Ana. Mr. Christie on the Arthas. And Fiducio on the Imperius. You think Fat won the draft? Okay. Let's see what they do. But on the right-hand side, we do have Fat Rattata, with Fury Whip going to be on the Whitemane. Zoo is X. We're just going to go with X. Is going to be on the Li Ming. Loyal Knight will be on the Joanna. Krovax will be on the Blaze, and Sin on the Rainer. What's really cool is I actually seeing a lot of these names. I do believe I saw some of them like on S Division teams over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So some of these players are double dipping a little bit, but in the sense of just being able to play in that higher tier of gameplay. Looking just through level 1 talents as well. Not seeing anything too out of the ordinary. We'll just continue just to keep an eye on what is going on. I have just been seeing the Burn the Impure for the Imperius through a lot of these games, as well as Ancestral Strength for the Orphea. Speaking of Ancestral, how about that Rhaegar change that's coming into the PTR? Mr. Christie in a bit of a bad spot. A lot of damage coming out, but it won't connect. Fury Whip getting those really good heals off, but that Wolf Boy's going to be able to self-put Green Beam. Him going to be able to stay alive longer. Like, the argument for the longest time was like, well, if Kharazim can self-Divine Palm, why can't Rhaegar? And yeah, why can't Rhaegar? That's like a huge part of Rhaegar. So I'm glad that we're going to be seeing it back. I hope it will be a beneficial change. Rhaegar's back. I like for a hot second when I saw Stukov being banned out and stuff, and I was just like, oh my god, like, will we see a Rhaegar? I was gonna start talking about it. I'm like, no, Bahamut, that's PTR. That's not going to be happening just yet. That is going to be next week. So, also a little sad that, I mean, like, the Decker Kane skin's cool and everything, but like, what about like sexy wartime Arthas? I mean, mostly just wartime Arthas, but you just gotta slap that sexy right in front of it. Moonshin, what's up? How are you, Sin? It's going to be so rad. I agree. Thank you for coming back. I probably said your name wrong, but thank you for coming by. All right, Loyal Knight in the rotations. We do have just back and forth between the top and mid. This is pretty much the slowest point of the game. Typically, it's a lot of stacking in between the lanes and just playing safe rotations, getting the clear onto the minion wave, going ahead and picking up the gems, and then just doing the exact same thing in the bottom lane. A little bit of poking between the two knights. I guess two knights in a sense. The two tanks in between the lanes, but that isn't going to be yielding just a major death just yet. We have the Iron Skin coming out from the Joanna. Nice Bidek and Nade coming out from Fairy Dragon to just disallow, to kind of just punish Fury Whip, or not really. Or Moonshit. Oh, Moochin. Yeah, Moochin. Thank you. Decorative skin makes him shredded. Yeah, he is a bit of a shredded old man, isn't he? He's like the, there's like an image of like some old dude who's like super ripped and he looks just like, oh my god, I'm blanking out on his name. Oh. I can't remember. But either way, we have game. So, Krovex in bottom lane against Fiducia. This has pretty much just been a nice back and forth. Every time I peek down here, Krovex is a little bit on the lower side. So it looks like Fiducia is doing a great job in the solo lane. We can actually hang out here for a little bit and just see how they're kind of whittling down this Blaze. We'll jump back up into the mid and top lane, and we have a turn and trying to being attempted, but it's not going to be happening just yet. Fury Whip going to be isolated with the Howling Blast there for a second. Master Roshi, thank you. Oh my god, thank you. It did. Like, it kind of does look like it's like bearded wartime Master Roshi. Rotations though through the lanes, it's collecting gems and getting ready for those first couple turn-ins. We do have turn availability for the members of Fat Rattata. They could be going for that fairly soon. And they also have that on the same side as Montreal style Beigels. It's just really who can break off and get that turn in time. We do have some poke coming out from Breakwood. Mr. Christie going to be just anchoring for the team and taking a lot of this damage, and we just continue to have safe plays. No deaths just yet in this game. A lot of damage coming out between the two teams, but realistically no final hit to get that last life. But sevens will be achieved fairly soon. Turn-ins are approaching for quite a few of the members here. We just have X is going to be just dropping out some damage here and there, and it's just the Racer 10. These two teams are playing pretty, I wouldn't say safe, but they're just playing respectfully into each other. They're not really going too aggressive. Blaze is just going to be poking out here a little bit. Let's just check this mid lane. It looks like Mr. Chris is going to get 5 more, and they only need the 10, and that is sitting on the Blaze at this time. We can actually show who is holding the majority of the gems for the teams. We actually just continue to say, all right, well, if they've got pretty much everything in, and most of it relies on their Blaze to get that last little bit turn in, they can just focus on their rotations and maybe even denying them their own turn in through this top lane. Fury Whip going to get poked out here. We actually didn't check the level 7 talent for the Orpheus. Fury Whip is taking a lot of damage. It is going to be Mind Devour, trying to get those stacks as quickly as possible. Ooh, the Impale coming out onto... Oh my god, Blaze is going to be getting the charge right back in, and I don't think there's going to be another chase from Fiducia, but the rest of the team is making their way in here. They do want to try and get a couple more stacks on that level 7 talent as quickly as possible, because I do believe it is mana reduction as well as cooldown reduction. We can check that in a second here. Turn-in has been achieved by the members of Montreal style Beigels. We can... Ooh, the double root that's going to be coming out from Mr. Christie, and they're chasing this. They have the Biotic Grenade go out onto Fury Whip, or at least attempt to, and it's not going to connect. Trying to make sure that that white main does not get the positive healing out for Blaze, and maybe they had that chase there. So, looking at this really quickly, increases damage, and then after 40 heroes, 6 second cooldown by 6 seconds, and the mana return. Imperius was so much damage, holy moly. Yeah, seriously. Actually, we can go back to some of the damage here coming out. Imperius currently toppling the charts. Well, no, Rainier is going to be doing about 4,000 more, but yeah, Imperius doing a lot of damage. HP attacks at level 1. Does work. You're very right on that, Snag. What's up? Mid lane is going to be pressured in at this time, though, as well as, I mean, top, they're really not going to be doing too much with this. This is typically what we see a lot of the teams focus on because it is boss lane, but bottom lane is already having its gate taken down. We have Fiducia going in onto Krovex a little bit here, taking a lot of damage. They're just going to be going ahead and saying, all right, well, I'll take out your lane sustain because that's the thing that keeps you alive for the majority of this. Not going for the sidewalls. We pop up into mid lane, and that's not going to be anyone falling to death just yet. Oh man, and now we get into 81 gem potential for the members of Fat Rattata. Show some of the gem counts as well. And they're very close. They're not too far off from a turn in themselves on the side of Montreal style Beigels. Fiducia sitting with those 24. Really want to get that wallet empty. Oh no. Oh no, there's some more French in chat. Bonjour. That's all the French I know. Comment ça va? We do have the turn-in, though, being achieved. We also have Mr. Christie getting dove on here. We do... Oh, that's going to be the 10s achieved for both, and that is going to be the Eternal... Oh my god, the Eternal Hunger coming out. That is also going to be Rainer going down. Krovex will be going down on the side over here, and they're starting to chase this. Loyal Knight will be the next one. That's turn-in going in for Fat Rattata, but they're not going to be able to get just any really value with that. Eternal Feast. I don't know why. I was gonna say Eternal Jaws. That's not right. But pretty much everything coming out there. The Scarlet Egg is doing so much. Raynor actually gonna be going into the Raynor's Raiders. Gonna be picking up these Banshees. It's an interesting choice. Typically, we actually see a lot of teams going for the Hyperion, mostly because it is a good sieging and anti-sieging tool. For example, that situation there in this tight corridor, to be able to drop the Hyperion, and it does kind of give you that momentary second of just like, oh wait. And we're still going to kill you underneath this, but they're going to be taking a lot of damage, and there's a higher possibility for a kill. And this, for example, here, this moment here, you could also be dropping your Hyperion if the Raynor did get killed before that was possible. And this just would have been allowing them to siege up onto this top lane fort gate. Banshees do get value. You can get them into the backline. We'll poke onto Fairy Dragon quite a bit, as well as probably Breakwood, but it's getting it back there and also macroing it and playing it correctly. That's the big thing. Turn and achieve, but at what cost? French for happy. See, you put these imaginary marks over the G's, and I don't know how to pronounce that that noise. We just have this turn, and it's available for the members of Montreal Style Beigels, but they aren't really able to get onto it because they are just being poked out, and they want to go in for this fight. Low Knight finding a backline entrance. We do have Imperius going in as well. The Eternal Feast comes out. That is also going to be the bunker coming out. That does cancel the Eternal Feast, but the Angelic Armament to get the snipe right at the end right there. Nice Howling Blast coming onto Fury Whip. There is the Celestial Charge going onto Krovax. A lot of damage going out onto them. They don't have a ton for themselves here, and during all that scuffling, that is going to be the turn and achieve for the members of Montreal Style Beigels. Third turn-in of the game currently between both teams, and now these will be descending through the top lane. All members will be back, though. Death timers aren't the longest in the world at this point. We're sub 10 minutes into the game. Everybody is back except for Waluigi. Oh, sorry. I was just like, wait, is this something they just added? That's actually the banner. That's the banner for turning in. I'm liking Imperius. Okay. I think he's looking pretty good when I'm seeing a lot of him, but Krovax getting dove on the chomp to finish it out. It's gonna be Loyal Knight, the next one to get a little bit of damage put onto them, and now Montreal Style Beigels, they get a lockdown onto 2. They want to chase this a little bit further. The Eternal Feast comes out. The crush onto the Li Ming. Their Sin is going to seemingly be the next target. Greymane goes in. That is going to be the Scarlet Aegis coming out from Fury Whip to keep them alive. Loyal Knight sharking around this backline area to try and find some entrance into this, but that's going to be mid lane fort going down as the Imperius finishes that out. Bottom lane, I do believe, went down. I honestly cannot remember if it was already down or not. I don't think it was. We do have this pressure into the top lane. Top lane Webweaver is going to be dead at this time as well, so they do not have that added pressure, but they've got a decent minion wave with them, and it looks like they're going to be backing off right after they go ahead and finish out that gate. Question is, do they go for boss? They are going to play this boss. Imperius going for that Celestial Charge. And the Loyal Knight stepping up. The rest of the team is starting to come in here. This is a talent tier in favor for the members of Montreal Style Beigels. Fiducia doing a good job of just playing around this point. We currently have the boss at a 3rd health. They leave it. It's going to be leashed. That means it's going to charge back up. They're going to be coming in for this fight. Looks like Greybane's going to be diving forward. Scarlet Aegis does come out. There's going to be the knockback from the Li Ming. There's going to be the Eternal Feast onto so many members. That's going to be White Mane going down. The Eternal Feast still going, and that's going to be Blaze going down to the Imperius as well. 2 kills, and they start to chase this as Breakwood once more. Doesn't look like they'll be able to catch on to them, and do they go back for it? Doesn't look like that's the play. They are only 9 gems off from a turn in themselves, and if they defend this, they don't have the potential for that pause in the game. If they could get this turn in, that would be the best thing they could do on the side of Fat Rattata, because that way they could at least have this pause and say, all right, you know, you can't siege into us too hard, you need to go out and clear this. But I like the play that's currently coming out from them. They're saying, you know what, it's whatever. If you get that turn, oh no. They should have gone for the turn in right away, because they could have stolen it away. It's all between Loyal Knight, X, and Sin. Those are pretty much all the gems they need, and now that window's really gone, because Mr. Christie should actually almost be able to get it through this minion wave here. Meanwhile, in mid, they're going to be rotating through, making sure that no one's on this point. They do double check that. Boss will be going up through top lane. They rotate up for the defense. Now they go for the clear. That is going to be gem availability for the members of Montreal Style Beigels. Fat Rattata starting to get in that really worrisome position, especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen. About a talent tier fallen between the two teams, as well as almost two to three levels here. And at least show some of the healing, and then we'll jump back over to some of the experience numbers and damage numbers. But this is going to be 16 to 14. This is going to be a 13-minute web weaver. They scale per minute. That's going to be pretty strong. We're going to see what they're going to be able to do with this as Krovax is just checking out what the rotation looks like. Dude, it does get a little bit of a slow. They're maybe trying to find a way into this backline. They turn around. Curse Bolt does come out. That is going to be Greymane diving forward. They do not have the availability for any sort of kills. Blaze actually diving right back in, trying to get some extra poke out, but the Web Weaver does descend far up into the top lane, almost staggered throughout the lanes. Pretty much all of them dropping at least past the fort or on the fort. Actually, on the fort for almost all of them. That is... This is a fast-paced game, and Montreal style Beigels is playing it in that speed. Like, they're really not letting up at any point. Currently have the hammers coming out from the Joanna. Looking for any sort of big heroics that are going to be popped at this time. Howling Blast connecting on to Raynor. The Eternal Feast does go out. Curse Bolt will be there. I don't think it connected on anyone. They do have some knockback coming out from Li Ming. They start to chase this back here. This is going to be a lot of damage going out onto the Greymane. Angelic Armament will go ahead and get the disengage for a second, and with that is going to be top lane defended very well. Bottom lane got cleared out, and we rotate down into bottom. Blaze got the clear onto that, and it looks like they have done a great job on the side of Fat Rattata to at least help hold them at bay for the time being. They can look for their 16s through this. Now they're going to rotate down and go for some camps as well on the side of Montreal style Beigels. Pretty much the main play that you want. You don't want to be potentially feeding into a bad fight. Now, you are up a talent tier, yes, but if you do step too far forward and they do grab a good fight and you have to run all the way back through mid lane, all this distance, that might not work out too good for you. So they're just going to go ahead and grab the camps. If they get the turn in, I think... Oh, no, they've got everybody... They've got somebody kind of watching out at any single point. All right, Whitemane will be clearing out the top lane. It's just sitting... It's just patience from both teams. A lot of patience, letting the waves come up into you instead of rushing out to go and get that 16 as quickly as possible. We also see, you can see them right here. They're not playing past this gate because there's potential for flanks, and well, not so much as we do have the gate still there. But if they do rotate a little too far up, there are a couple entry points. As Blaze, is going to go down completely. Just talking about rotations on maps and just missing the rotation coming out from the members of Montreal style Beigels, looking for a kill. They have this camp through mid, and they want to take down and keep with this as well. They're going to push up onto Loyal Knight. They don't have anyone connected with that Howling Blast. There's going to be so much damage coming out, and they end up getting the kill from Greymane right at the end there. That will be Joanna down. The Blaze is down. So is Li Ming. That is going to be the Celestial Charge. That also is the Eternal Feast. The Angelic Armament's going out, and they get the last hit. So much damage coming out, and looks like they want to try and take this game here. It's going to be Montreal style Beigels burning down this core, taking game number 1. GG. Well played. I thought I could drink water way quicker than I did. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. I am your caster, Bahamut. On the left-hand side, up a game, we have Montreal-style Beigels, and on the right, this is going to be Fat Rattata trying to take themselves to a game number 3 and bring this series to a sudden death kind of situation. Let's go ahead and review the map bans if you might have missed them. Did have the coin flip won by the members of Montreal-style Beigels. They went ahead and banned out Battlefield of Eternity. Infernal Shrines was banned out by Fat Rattata. The first map was chosen by Montreal-style Beigels, and that was Tomb of Spider Queen. They won that map. Fat Rattata opted for first pick for this game number 2, and so Montreal-style Beigels has decided to take us to Cursed Hollow for game number 2 in our wonderful series tonight, and we already have a Maya being banned out. That transition is so beautiful. Seriously! That's all, I want to say that's all JB sheds. Yeah. It's really cool. Like, I'm so glad that there's 2 of them too. Like, I love the little wipe that I have. Like, this little wipe, it's gonna just be zoomed in, but like that little wipe is so cool. I absolutely love that. Oops, that's the wrong button. There we go. Back to draft. Sorry about that. I'm sure like all of the audio just like freaked out on everybody for a second. But we have a Sneak Up being banned out once again. I do believe that is a targeted ban. Sorry, Bandit was scratching his chin and he's not supposed to do. Bandit, bud, you gotta stop that. Diablo going to be banned out as well. We do have the Mayav and the Dahaka be taken away by the members of Fat Rattata. They do not want to deal with the global pressure from that. Now we go into our first pick on the side of Fat Rattata. They opted for the first pick, so they might have something up their sleeve here. Is it going to be something in the realm of a Hanzo? Are they looking for a Genji? Do they want some sort of big player? Is it going to be an Abathur super early? Do you want that Zeratul? What is it that you wanted because from first pick? It's going to be the Abathur. Hi, Bandit. For you, bud. I mean, now there's so many roads that you can take this Abathur. You can go into double Jaina, double Genji, double Hanzo. Jaina and Genji typically are what I've been seeing a lot of lately, mostly because of the fact of just double hypermobility, or Jaina's baseline works with Abathur when you copy. It's gonna be, hey, Kaimo Tripson! By the way, this is the second in a row Arthas game that we've got, so just saying, I don't know where Jinxie Cat's at, but she was like screaming Sunday for Arthas games. Oh my god, look at that white balance that's coming in from my camera today. Woof. But there's been already one Arthas game. This is the second. But either way. We do have Abathur being picked up. That will be the Thrall grabbed as well as the Nubrex. So they're not showing support, and that's where I'm wondering what they're going to go into. Are they going to be going for... Are they going to go for the supportless... Like, this is... Like, if I was sitting on the side of Montreal-style Beigels, I'd be like, are they going for a support? Are they going to just do more damage? I would ban out Jaina or Genji. I don't know about banning out an Illidan, but Illidan could... oh, you're saying Illidan incoming? Could be. Genji ban. I mean, that makes sense. Like, that's not a bad idea here. They could still go for Jaina. Oh my god, they could actually pick up Jaina and Phoenix. That's way too much squishiness, though. I don't think that'll work out for them. I wonder if he's tank again or off lane. In the last game, he was tank. Banning out Illidan, really? Why is Fat Rattata banning out Illidan? That's interesting to me. Also, we don't have any sort of priority onto Imperius after Fiducia put out that really, really good game on Imperius. I feel like they would grab... Well, maybe they want to have some more of the global option. Okay, so Tyrande Malthael. So that's definitely going to be Malthael in the solo lane. Do they go for the Blaze? Is that what they're intending to be like? All right, well, they're probably going to Blaze Leoric or Yrel. And if they do one of those three, that's pretty strong. Orphea's OP. Or in the right hands, absolutely. I actually haven't seen much of her in S Division. I think I saw a little bit of her.
I will fight to my last breath.
They know that the changes don't come till next week, right? I'm so excited about Ancestral Healing Rhaegar. Like, that quality of life changed. My big question is here, does Montreal-style Beigels go into a glow? No, okay. They go into the glow. I'm gonna shut up. But we are gonna be getting... This is what our draft is going to be. They misclicked, they wanted to pick Illidan. Oh, so it must have been like, it's like when you're playing Hero League and you run to the bathroom and you come back and you realize like, oh, I have to choose something. And then you don't realize that you're banning. So maybe they were meant to choose Illidan. And they were like, oh no, we're actually going to be, no, we banned out Illidan. I don't know. Slarf, what's up? How you doing this evening? How is everybody? I am sorry. I haven't gotten into my tea yet. Oh. If Arizona could just send me a case of their iced tea, it's so good. Okay. Alright. Game number 2. Of our first match of the evening. We have another match right after this one. It technically starts in 25 minutes. But they said they were going to hold out at least another 10 to 15 if 10 to 20 if like absolutely necessary. So I think if we go quick, we'll be on pace. You're well? Yourself? I'm good. I'm good. We got some really good games coming up. I'm excited about this one that we're loading into currently. We're at that like that loading part where it's just like, ready, set, are you gonna go? So we'll be loading into Cursed Hollow in just a second. I have the Division S up. Ow! I knew I forgot it in one scene. Thank you. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get right into this. On the left-hand side, up one game, we have Montreal-style Beigels with Thor going to be on the Greymane. Breakwood will be on the Orphea. We're going to be having Fairy Dragon on the Tyrande. Mr. Christie will be playing the Arthas, and Fiducia once... No, well, Mr. Christie once again on the Arthas, and Fiducia will be on the Malthael. I don't know why, I was just like, yeah, they have Imperius. On the right-hand side, we are going to be having the members of Fat Rattata, with Sin going to be playing the Kael'thas. Fury Whip will be on the Rhaegar. Corvex will be on the... Abathur? No, it's going to be on the Thrall. We're going to be having Loyal Knight on the Anubrek, and X is going to be playing the Abathur. Sorry about that. All right. No Conviction Kael'thas. No one needs to rage in chat. We're all good on that one. Abathur will be going into the Carapace at level 1, so just making sure they're going to have a little bit of, regenerating microbes. Just getting a little bit extra healing for their friendly team on top of the Rhaegar already. Loyal Knight will be diving in at this time, and a lot of good damage is going to be spread from this Kael'thas at the time, and this is a really good start for the members of Fat Rattata. Meanwhile, though, we have Fiducia sitting in the top lane. They did go for that on a pale horse, so we might see them doing a little bit of double duty. We see them catch them in the rotation here as Corvex is taking the aggressive side on this. They do have that Abathur hat. Fiducia does go out onto them. And I don't think they're going to win, so they just back right out of there. But they did lose, I think, about a wave of soak. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Breakwood does get the... I'm trying to... Shadow Waltz. There we go. I'm trying to remember all the talents off the top of my head, and learning the new heroes is always the hardest part. But being able to go ahead and just get that attack off and having that move away is really, really big for the Orphea. I love a good player who can maneuver around that. Rhaegar spamming camps. I would guess so with that. We actually have a lot of damage going to be bursted out onto Loyal Knight. They want to chase, but that is not going to connect in time. Greymane will be going ahead and grabbing the siege camp on the left-hand side. It doesn't look like we're going to be having a Greymane number 2. Actually, we're going to be having Fury Whip going to rotate over here and probably grab the siege camp at the time. Nubrek is going to be coming back and just soaking up through mid, as Abathur is going to be doing the exact same thing. Poking their head into top lane. It doesn't look like it's going to be a big win for Fiducia. At the time, Corvex is just playing kind of safe on this throw, poking out here and there. Now, let's have a couple members finishing up this camp. The timer's sitting at that 2:05 point, so we're going to be seeing the announcement for the tribute fairly soon, and then those will be popping up at the 3-minute mark in the game. It is going to be in the top portion of the map, so they grabbing this camp over here and having this timeout a little bit later is going to benefit them quite well in the set of Fat Rattata, so that way they're able to have the pressure from this camp while they're all fighting over this top lane point. We do still see the Orphea down there, just waiting for the wave to kind of crash up into her. And slowly playing this, just slow plays from the start here, making sure they're getting some questing talents done, making sure they're also not getting picked off. It's 0-0 in kills. Howling Blast does connect from Arthas. Kael'thas is just sadly. We do have Abathur in that mid lane. We'll probably see them split off into probably the bottom to bolster this camp up a little bit more, as well as body soak that, hat soak the other lane. We currently have just the Thrall up in this top point, sitting in the bush. The rest of the team will be rotating in, I wouldn't say a little late. They are going to be slowed down and actually going to be getting zoned out by them, and Thrall is going to be up here, and Fiducia will chase them off. It does leave the Greymane available for the turn for the time being, or at least the collection at the time being, with pull away talents, so we can at least see this a little bit better. Sin is trying to get some poke damage on the bottom portion of our screen, and they're trying to get this poke, and it's going to be working out for the time being. We'll see if they're able to actually make a way in on this. Nice poke coming out from Sin, but they don't have much mana left. There's going to be the Abathur mines getting cleared out on top of that. Corvex is so low on health. If they go in and make a bad play, that could be the death of Thrall. Doesn't look like they make that play, and it's going to be first point going over in favor for the members of Montreal-style Beigels. Fat Rattata still soaking up in these lanes. We can at least show some of the soak at this point in the game and how Abathur is contributing to the team. Value bot should just wait. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was getting some decent value down here. Looks like Greymane will be able to clear this out before it gets too much more. They're working their way up with this Abathur. Need a little bit more soak coming out from their whole team. I mean, you just comparison in soak between the two teams. And we'll at least just show some of the healing numbers as well as we do get into kind of the first third of our game abouts. We do have the next point of activating in this bottom lane. Zul and I don't know what to say, Zul, Malthael and Thrall just gonna maybe stay in this top lane for a bit longer. They do have that Abathur hat, so they're going to be getting a lot of decent damage on the Fiducia, and they just want to soul rip and get the wave clear as best they can so it isn't going to be crashing too far into their gate. Point, though, is going to be activating fairly soon. I think they're zoning them out pretty efficiently here. Orphea could rotate up. Oh my god, that voice line, I love how it's global. Grayman going to be diving in here at the side. We currently have Orphea just sneaking this below us on the other side of the screen. Loyal Knight seems to be the target, though they want to go for that main tank. Meanwhile, we do have Fury Whip who will interrupt that for the time being. Loyal Knight, though, going to be taking a lot of damage here. We do have Orphea stepping up. They're going to be trying to get those autos off. That will be the Kael'thas and the Thrall going down for at the time. They do jump in and chase this a little bit further. They want to try and get a little bit more, and looks like Loyal Knight will be able to make their way out of here just with a fair amount of health. Meanwhile, they do have these Siege Giants in top lane doing a lot of good work. We actually have the Abathur currently just soaking in the... Usually at this point during during curses, and I think chat's even noticing it too, usually so if the objective is in bottom like it was just here, you typically see the Abathur physically move their body into this position in one of these bushes, because there's no way someone's going to rotate up on them. You have most of the eyes on the enemy team. If they call forward, then that means someone's looking for that Abathur. So you can body soak in this bush, and then you can usually hat soak this lane, or you can provide a little bit of artillery for your friendly team with the actual hat itself. Oh, but we have Orphea taking a lot of damage here. The flank from Loyal Knight might be enough. They don't get the Shadow Waltz, and that doesn't allow them to get the movement. They are dead before this next tribute. That could be the little bit of a window that Fat Rattata needs to go ahead and make a little bit of a wave in this fight, but they are taking this. It is currently 3v3. They don't have their Abathur hat available, or excuse me, their clone available because they don't have 10s. Their hat will be just sitting on Loyal Knight. They're going to be getting a lot of burst damage. That's going to be going out onto Greymane, who does get the Razor Swipe out. That is going to be the cleanse going out onto Loyal Knight. They turn around. Sin's going to be the target here. The Abathur hat goes out. That is going to be the death of Kael'thas, and they start to fight this even harder. This not going well for them. We actually have Orphea back, and is just going to go ahead and collect the point. This is going to be a chase on the Crovax. They also have their 10s up and available. Oh my god, the thing is, Malthael didn't choose a 10 and still hasn't chosen a 10. I don't think they're going to be going for the Tormented Souls. I don't, this isn't Tormented Souls, is it? I'm just staring at that 10 talent tier. Top lane is going to get pushed in quite hard. We do have the Abathur going up into this top lane to make sure that that is actually at least a little bit nullified. Not actually picking up Mule for this map either. That is going to be the last rights coming out from the Malthael. Interesting. They didn't go for the Mule. They banned out the Illidan. I feel like the Illidan was that was an accident. I kind of feel like... Zara's drinking tea the moment I noticed that Fiducia was caught out in the mid lane. Sorry about that. While they catch Fiducia out in that mid lane, and Nubrak will get the burrow out just in time. Nice Howling Blast to follow up. The Devourer just to get that extra. Just that Kael'thas line, I like how it's so loud that it just in fights, that's all you hear. We have the web wrap going out. They're trying to clear it out a little bit quicker. Starfall is going to be coming out from the Tyrande. Phoenix is out from the Kael'thas. That is going to be the Eternal Feast. That is going to be X with the clone onto the Rhaegar, so double healing coming out. Breakwood seems to be the target. They move in, and that is going to be the death of Orphea. You get the stun onto Fury Whip, and that looks like it's a disengage with a pick in their favor. No Bloodlust this game. That Rhaegar is going into Ancestral Healing. We're pretty much getting the standard talents across the board for all of these members. No Earthquake from the Thrall. They're going to be seeing the Sundering. It's going to be giving them some good disengage as well as some good setup. What do you do with an Illidan when they draft a noob Thrall? Abba Thrall a noob. They've had so they would have been so melee heavy. True. But you also have Illidan, so it's just GG. You've won, right? I think this is just going to be bosses traded out. I don't think they're going to be able to rotate up here in time. Arthas is going to be up, but yeah, he's not going to make it there in time. No one's on the point. No, it's not going to be happening. Rest of the team is going to be chasing this. They do want to try and take the fight. The members of Montreal Style Beigels have arrived, and they realize this. They get the double Howling Blast. Phoenix out in the cleanse as well. Lunar Flare not going to be connecting. That is going to be the Army of the Undead pop. They go ahead and get the clear onto the web wrap. Loyal Knight is going to be getting chased here and not going to be getting killed. They stay alive for the time being, and that is going to be Boston top lane wailing away at this top fort front gate. Bottom lane does have some decent value already pushing in. Abathur trying to nullify that for a couple seconds here. Abathur doesn't count the slap Sir Bailey though. No bloodlust, yeah, I agree. No bloodlust, sad. Okay, so we do currently have our next phase of the tributes spawning up across the map. This is just, it's pretty much, you know, there's a 3 cycle. Well, there used to be a 3 cycle for at least how it was jumping across the map, and then you'd have to memorize the quadrants and figure out based on random numbers. Now they just tell you, but this is a new phase. There is, once a curse goes through, there's I think about a 2-minute wait after the curse ends, and then you can, the first one will pop up once again. But we have the burrow coming out from Loyal Knight onto Mr. Christie. Nice weapon once again. The Thrall with the Sundering to make sure that they don't get the capture onto this. Starfall does go out. Krovax is a little far forward here, but they chase further into this. They actually have the Phoenix coming out to zone them away. Eternal Feast is coming out into Sin. They actually get out just fine. Still continuing a little bit there. They want to chase this. Loyal Knight getting slowed. That is going to be X with the clone onto the Anubrek, who will just be trying to at least zone them away and make sure that they don't get a kill onto the friendly member. And that's nice plays coming out. They also had the Ancestral available during all of that. The one thing I want to note here is since the bottom, mid, and top lane forts are all gone for the members of Fat Rattata, that means they're going to have periodic catapults throughout those lanes. I believe it's every 3rd wave we're going to be seeing those catapults pop up in favor for the Montreal-style Beigels. We do have another tribute popping up here in the next 27 seconds. Just going to show some of the numbers as we're kind of getting into that second third of our game. We're getting to the later half of the game here. At least want to show you some of the numbers that have been coming through while we also have this set up for this tribute. This seems like it's a big one. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be wanting to play into this. They're just going to play this slow on the side of Fat Rattata and say, Montreal-style Beigels. No, John. I don't know why I keep saying John Knight. Loyal Knight wants to step up and go for this. They have the burrow forward. They're going to be putting themselves into this backline. It's going to be Tyrande getting web wrap. The Phoenix is going to be there as well. No healing coming out for the members of Montreal-style Beigels. Ancestral healing is going to be connecting onto Krovax. That is going to be a lot of damage coming out. They also have the Sundering as well. Fiducia getting some decent damage onto Fear Whip in the backline. Kael'thas does go down at the time. That is also going to be Thrall as well. Last rights onto the Rhaegar, and that is a dead pup. All that is left is the bugs on the map. No clone up for 1, and it's up. Unfortunately, they took that fight, talent tiered down. I get where they're coming from. They said, you know, they're about to hit 16. Let's go ahead and try and at least get into a fight with them so we can take this. But at the same time, they didn't even have their 13, so it's a little bit of a hard play to do there. Now, granted, the death timers aren't the longest in the world. We've already got everyone back up and available, but they might get the nice burrow out from the Anubrek to make sure that they aren't going to be getting stunned out and staggering a death. That would have been probably the worst thing that they could have done for the team. Top lane still has pressure, catapults, and everything. Mid lane still having this catapult and this bruiser camp pressure, and with their almost 16 talent tier advantage, this is where we found Montreal-style Beigels last game around this time. It's about that 16 to 13 area. They want to pressure in. I think they're banking on the fact that they'll be getting this next tribute point, so they're just saying, all right, let's go ahead and get this opened up a little bit for ourselves. We can chase them in, and then, the Eternal Feast coming out. Then Anubrek goes down right away. That is going to be the clone, still up and available into the backline, but it doesn't have much life here. We have Krovax taking a lot of damage. Last rights goes out into the Rhaegar. They get the kill onto the Rhaegar and the Thrall. Sin, the next one, who's going to fall low and does fall down. The Abathur pops up right in front of Mr. Christie, and they get the kill. All 5 members are wiped. They move over to onto the keep. I wanted to keep saying fort, I don't know why. And they can swap over onto the core. Anubrek isn't going to be up for the next 6 seconds. They do have a decent amount. They have potential for a defense here. I don't know if their core burn is the quickest in the world. Anubrek's back up. Not too many members far behind. Web Rep does go out onto the Grey Mane, who does have the most siege. That's going to be Loyal Knight taking a lot of damage. They do go down. Ancestral Healing was off cooldown. We have 79%. That is going to be the Eternal Feast coming out as well to zone them out of here. And it's... Oh, no, excuse me. That's going to be the Starfall coming out to zone out Krovex with the Ancestral Healing. The Eternal Feast does go out now. Nice Howling Blast to connect. Breakwood with so little health does go down. Orphea, and that is going to be it. Game number 2 going over to the members of Montreal Style Beigels. GG. Well played.